Hi girls, it's Thursday and I better find a new angle because I am looking like Renee Zellweger right now. I actually have an awful cold and it's been nice to be able to be outside in the sun. Just wish I was feeling a little bit better. I've been coughing and sneezing and my chest hurts and I'm weak and my blood pressure is low on top of everything. So my question for everybody is, what are your favorite cold remedies? Because I could sure use some. How does getting a cold or a flu or a virus affect your POTS symptoms? Do you get worse? Do you feel like you have longer colds because of your POTS? What are you doing? You're interrupting mommy's video. Do you feel like you have colds for longer periods? Ginley, I'm trying to talk here. What do you want? Do you feel like you have colds for longer periods of time? Because for me, I just feel like I can't get rid of it. Ginley, go away. I just feel like I always have it for longer because this is like the 4th day that I've had it and I don't know, maybe that's normal. So your questions. Shannon, I absolutely loved your video, but I kept thinking to myself as I was watching it that there were probably some dirty guys out there and boys who were thinking, wow, this girl has sexy legs. And then I just kept laughing, thinking that they probably felt really weird when they realized you were putting on compression stockings. Like, did that change the level of sexiness, do you think? Like, do you think that made them feel any differently, or do you think, this is my question of the week, do you think that they felt as turned on once they realized they were compression stockings, or do you think that it affected their level of, I have to stop, this is becoming like an X-rated 5 awesome Potsy video. But I just couldn't help but think that. But I loved the video, it was absolutely brilliant, and I loved that you're showing that we have to deal with these things that people our age, women our age, never really have to consider. What woman who's 19 or 24 has to consider wearing compression stockings? It's something nobody ever thinks about, and yet here we are talking about compression stockings and blood pressure monitors and all of these things that people don't deal with until they're much, much older. And I just think that's fascinating on so many levels because I think it makes us grow up faster, obviously, but it also makes us have an empathy for older people, I guess. We have such an understanding. Sometimes when I'm out and I see like old people talking about different things that they deal with, I just want to chime in and be like, me too, and I want to join the conversation, and then they look at me like I'm crazy, like I'm young, and how could I possibly understand it? So I love that we're doing that with this channel, that we're talking about things that you would never normally see. Girls or women, as Gwen's mother is very offended that we're calling ourselves girls. She wants us to be ladies and women because she says we're too old to be. What do you think, McGinley? Do you think we're too old to be girls? Because I think I'm always going to be a girl at heart. Your mom's making me feel old, Gwen. I'm only 24. I still want to be a girl for a while. Where was I going with all of this? I don't know. I lost my train of thought. But on to Paige's question. Paige, by the way, I'm so glad you're feeling a little bit better. So sorry to hear you had a migraine. My mom gets them. They are miserable. And I've never really had one. I had one horrible headache, so I can empathize a little bit. I'm glad you're feeling better. I could tell you were Irish. I had a feeling. I'm like a mix of a bunch of things. I'm Romanian and Italian and English and Danish and some other things that I don't even know. And I always grew up wanting to know more about my heritage, but it was something that my parents were never really knowledgeable about. They don't really know any of they're not really close to their relatives, their older relatives, and so I never really got a good idea of my heritage or where I came from, and it's something I do want to look into and maybe get into genealogy, which is such an old person thing to do, but I think it's important just to know where you came from and know about your family's traditions and heritages. But I hope everybody had a great St. Patrick's Day. I'm wearing green today. This is an awful green dress, which I'll show you in a little bit, that I bought thinking it was a different color, and it's actually like Christmas green, and I thought it was going to be... Ginley is so jealous that I'm doing this video. I don't know if he's jealous because he wants to be the star, or he's jealous because it's taking away my attention. Ginley, go play! Anyway, and Gwen, you asked what do we do if we're standing in a long line and we need to sit down and healthy people or older people have taken all the seats, which is a really great question, and I will show you. I will actually demonstrate what I do right now. I pretend like, imagine this is like a rack with jewelry on it, or you know how usually in the line like they have racks of gum or candy, or I don't know, just different things. I don't care what it is. I will kneel down and pretend that I'm looking at it. Oh wow, this is really interesting. I think I might buy this. You know, I really do need a razor. I do this for the longest time, and I think at some point people probably realize I'm not really looking at anything, because sometimes I'll just really not even focus on anything, but I'm like squatting down right in front of the rack. That's what I usually do. If I'm really feeling sick enough, I will sit down. Like Nikki said, I saw Nikki commented, Dottie Nick, and she said that she just sits wherever she pleases, and I become a little more like that. If I have to sit, I'll sit. The other thing I do is this. I kind of sway. I probably look like somebody that really has to pee, but I don't really care. Oh my God, there's a bee. Ah! But anyway, back to the compression stockings. That's where I lost my train of thought. I was going to tell you about mine. I mean, these aren't that hard to get on. These are 2030s by Sigvaris. I think I'm saying that right, Sigvaris. They don't really have the grip or anything. I don't need to use gloves to get them on. They get on pretty easily within, I can probably do it in like 7 minutes. So that's not really my problem. My problem is they're uncomfortable. Well, they feel like somebody's kind of grabbing me at like right below my knee, or even if it's above my knee, they just kind of hurt. Should this go above the knee? See, there's my knee, if you can see. Or below the knee, because either way it doesn't feel very good. It feels really uncomfortable. I haven't used them enough. I only wore them once. I'm trying to think of ways to make them fashionable. I think we could have like Potts fashion. We could turn this into like a runway thing. Next on the runway we have Kylie. She is sporting a very ugly green dress. She is wearing compression stockings. What is she doing? She's taking her blood pressure. She's standing there very awkwardly. Somebody get her off, please. Why is squeezing my arms so tight? A Potts model? Somebody get her off. Somebody get her off! Oh dear God. She is a mess. Made marks on my arm. It squeezed it so tight. Leah, I hope you feel better. I know you know we're thinking and praying for you, and you're not alone. I know you have to remember that you're just at the beginning of all this, and anybody else who has just been diagnosed with POTS or with an underlying condition, just know that you're at the beginning of your journey, and you're not alone, and things are going to get better, so you know we're with you. I hope everybody's doing good and enjoying the good weather, Paige and Gwen anyway, and I'm sure, Leah, you have great weather. And I think you do too, Shannon. I think you said that. So I hope everybody's enjoying the weather and getting out for a bit, and I hope this sunshine brings some really good days for us health-wise, and I think it should. I will see everybody next week, and hopefully I will be over this cold by then. Talk to you guys soon. Love you guys.